Welcome back to another Applicable Science podcast, Black History Month tribute, and it's your girl, Amanda. Today we are talking about Miss Henrietta Lacks. So who was she? She was a Black tobacco farmer in Southern Virginia who unfortunately was diagnosed with cervical cancer at the age of 30. She went to Johns Hopkins to be treated for her cervical cancer, and she was seen by Dr. George Gray. So Dr. George Gray was also researching cervical cancer, and he took the tissue samples from every patient who had cervical cancer to see how their cells were and how they reacted to different things. So every patient before Miss Henrietta Lacks, he found that the cells would just quickly die. But with Miss Henrietta Lacks' cells, he found that her cells would double in quantity every 20 to 24 hours. Dr. George Gray found the first immortal cells. So what do I mean by immortal? The cells are able to reproduce and continue to grow and quote unquote never die. Dun dun dun. So why is Miss Henrietta Lacks why is her cells very important to the field of science? These cells, also known as now HeLa cells, were groundbreaking in developing vaccines. So it was very crucial in development of the polio vaccine. The HeLa cells were sent up into space to see how human cells interact with zero gravity. They've also been used for cloning, gene mapping, in vitro fertilization. They're used to study how toxins, drugs, and hormones affect cancer cells, how they affect just cells in general. They see how radiation and poisons also affect the cells as well. They're just very important in a broad spectrum of research and work, especially dealing with cell cultures. With that, it's just very important to the field of science because a lot of things you would need a human for and human basically test subjects, but these cells being immortal and being more readily, I guess, available in the field of science because they quote unquote never die. It's just very nice to have in the field of research, and that is with all thanks to Ms. Henrietta Lacks. Her contribution to the field of science, even though it was indirect because she did not knowingly know that her cells would be being put to this use, but we still have to thank her for her contribution. And with that, stay tuned for the next Applicable Science Black History Month tribute tomorrow, and happy Black History Month.